Alrighty. So I've literally been talking to myself. Well, that's that. Okay. Um, right. So I believe we need to start this all over again. So welcome to our weekend analysis, everyone. Um, Please be sure to take advantage of the coupon code that is still available. That's the Blitz 50, which is going to give you 50% off all instant funded accounts. So that is what we are offering for this week, and it's ending on the 31st of August at 10 a.m. CET. So make sure you grab yourself an account before the discount ends. So let's start from the beginning since we literally had no audio from the beginning of this live. So let's first start with the dollar index. So we'll peruse right through this as quickly as possible since I already drew the lines, drew the levels, and everything like that. So for this coming week, I do think there's going to be recovery with the dollar whatsoever. I do think there's going to be recovery. So next week, I think like maybe on dollar index, we could be coming into this area around the 99, 97, 900 area. That's where I do think we could be coming up to before we actually continue with this downward move. But overall, we could also be looking to like recover completely, coming all the way up here. But this is like a safe level in which we could be aiming to see where the market goes afterwards. Then let's look at euro dollar. So euro dollar is also gonna have like probably the same move that I'm anticipating on dollar index. We could be coming down into this area at 16900. But then if we're looking for a full recovery, I do think we could be coming even all the way down here where this move ideally happened on euro dollar. So even dollar yen was no different. It had a very strong move to the downside because of dollar weakness. So overall, across the whole board, dollar was highly affected. So for this coming week, I do think there's going to be recovery. So this recovery, which I'm anticipating, is where the market might actually come back to the price that it actually dropped from. So I'm anticipating that dollar yen, like the dollar will push slightly further up back into this area, and then we could continue all the way up from there. So for next week, I do think this would be like the major target for the dollar. And we might even be having a few gaps here and there as we open the market on Monday. Then pound yen, we had the break of the trend line going to the upside, and then we pushed immediately down here. So I do think next week we could be coming back into this area around 99,500 to finish up that recovery process. Already it is pushing up slightly. It had a very strong bullish candle over here, so I do think we could be recovering back into that area as well. Then pound yen, or rather dollar Mexican. So dollar Mexican, we had this push down all the way here. So for next week, I do think we could be recovering back into this area of 1870 before we actually push all the way down into this previous support level right here. Or overall, we could even be pushing all the way back up here. But for next week, I do think 1870 could be an ideal level that the dollar could be pushing into as a recovery. Then CAD Swiss. CAD Swiss was somehow affected, but not that much. So the Canadian dollar was weak when that space for oil came about. So I do think that we could be also recovering a bit into this area. We have a few trend lines here. So even these trend lines could be broken this coming week. There is a possibility of that. Like this can be altogether ignored since a new low was formed and then there was a rejection. It didn't really close below there. So we could be breaking these two trend lines and even pushing all the way up, probably even coming into this resistance level. Then pound dollar. So pound dollar did almost this exact same thing. It had a textbook kind of movement to the downside with lower lows and lower highs just coming all the way down. And we breached right through this trend line right here. So for next week, we might actually be recovering. The dollar might be recovering right into this area at 134. 100. So let's keep an eye and watch on that as the dollar may be having a recovery mode coming all the way down here. Then let's look at gold. So gold is not like a currency. So that would mean that gold may actually just be coming to this resistance level before actually pushing all the way up. We already talked about these support levels being broken due to gold trying to look for where people could possibly be putting their stop losses, and majority definitely got stopped out. And so when we come into this week, we might actually be continuing this upside move, but before that, we might be coming into this area and then be bouncing from here. Then we continue all the way up. I don't really think gold would be that weak to probably even come back into this area as a recovery for the dollar. Then let's look at NAS 100. So same scenario with NAS 100. Everybody has seen this push up. So a majority of stocks have actually gone up. So that means people are more interested in what is going on. So probably Monday, we might have a pullback into this area. And from there, we could be pushing all the way up since people are interested in the move that happened on Friday. So people probably pumping more money into the stocks than into anything else like currency. Then let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has already started with the recovery for the US dollar, but it's not currency, so it is a store of value. So it's literally into this area of resistance and it's bounced from here. We already have a pin bar rejection, so we could be looking to come up into this area of 117 500 with Bitcoin, and we might actually be making a new high over there before we actually see where Bitcoin will probably go in for the next couple of weeks. And then Ethereum is the last one we're going to look at. So Ethereum broke all the way up as well on Friday. So we could be coming back into this resistance level before we actually make a new high overall. We've already tried to reach this resistance level over here, but we just wixed it. So I do think we might actually be coming to this resistance level instead before we actually make a new high. Overall, even this minor resistance level could be one that Ethereum is actually rejecting from and then be making a new high. There's also that possibility. So this is where we come to an end with our market analysis. I had to peruse through because the first part of the live there was no audio, so I had to reconnect. So as you can see at the bottom of the screen, there's the Blitz Final 50, where we have the 50% discount on all instant funded accounts at OFP, and the discount ends on the 31st of August. So make sure you take advantage of this offer before it ends on the 31st of August. And this wraps up our market analysis for the weekend. Be sure to use your stop losses. Make sure you enter with good risk management. And I will be seeing you all on Wednesday once again as we see how the market unfolded and what further opportunities the market could be giving us. So I hope you enjoyed the rest of your weekend, and I'll be seeing you all on Wednesday.